Hey guys and girls, how are y'all doing on this beautiful day again, y'all? I say beautiful day because it's always a beautiful day when we're working out like this. I love it, man.
That's right.
In case you don't know who we are, I am Instructor Terry Lee, and this is Instructor Mr. Don Weber here. We've been doing this stuff for a long time, and we enjoy sharing what we know about martial arts. And I think that's the whole key behind this, is sharing it, kind of putting it out there and helping you to go through your day, and making things a little bit lighter and easier, right? There's a few questions we had as time goes on during the week, and one of the questions I was talking about was something called COVID fog. Have you ever heard of that? COVID?
No, this is my first time.
COVID fog, F-O-G. Now this is something that some of you may refer to as brain fog. I like the COVID. COVID sounds better, right? So COVID fog, and the reason why I'm going to bring this up is we're going to talk about some breathing first. We're going to get into Qigong breathing and how to manage some of the folks that have gone through COVID. So what happens with COVID fog? Make sure you can hear me, right? COVID fog is when, say for instance, you had it 9, 10, 11 months ago. COVID fog is kind of a lasting part of that. So it goes into maybe the 6 months or 7 months into that. Believe it or not, and COVID fog is basically something where you forget, right? Or you slur. Your speech kind of slurs a little bit. Now, Don, now we're talking about that. We do that all the time.
That's
That's just normal for us.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's all right. But we want to help everybody out there today and let you understand what COVID fog is, COVID-19 fog. It's basically what happens here is the air, or the blood, everything going towards the brain. People refer to it sometimes as when somebody has Alzheimer's, dementia, when they have things going on. That's extreme. That's extreme COVID fog. But it's kind of related to the same thing. And I've looked online already. Even doctors and out there are related to the same thing. So there is a way to help this out. And we're going to talk about this right now, because what you need to do is you need the breath has to circulate everywhere. Now, what we normally do when we do Qigong is we breathe in, right? And we pack the breath, right, to the dantian, which is right here. And then we kind of press it downward towards something called kidney 1, which is the bottom of the feet. But when you hit kidney 1, right, what happens? It spreads the whole body. So what we're going to do here is we are going to do that, but we're going to take that breath. Once it reaches that, we're going to take that breath and we're going to pull it back up, okay, to the top of the head, Now, it's hard to understand this when I say top of the head, because how can your breath get to the top of your head? Well, we're back to the 3 B's: breath, brain, and body. So if that breath is coming in, right, it's got to go through your nose. It's coming in. As soon as that happens, the brain reacts. The breath comes in, the brain reacts, and the brain can tell you where that's going or where you want it to go. So the brain reacts, it goes into wherever you say, and then what happens next? The body reacts. So breath, brain, and then body. And then you just keep on circling that, okay? So come over here a little bit, Don. We're going to pick on you. Okay, now I'm going to use Don, all right, because he forgets more than me. So
You're right.
I can't remember. But he's going to start with posture 1. Okay. Now, what we're going to try to isolate here is when it gets to a certain position, I'm going to tell him to stop. So his hands start to come up on posture 1. It comes up, raises up. Keep on going now. Turn it over. His palms are going to turn over. Now watch. Stop right here. Now, on this position here, normally what we would do would be we would turn it over. So the hands would come down and would come back up, right? But what we're going to do, when his hands keep on coming down, keep on going down, Don. Go down.
Forgot.
Start. Start now. Keep it right there. Now, the reason why he's going to keep his hands this way, turn it over the other way, is because we want to go ahead and press this down as far as we can press it down. Okay? So kidney 1. And then we're going to turn it over. Now, the only difference is when we bring this back up, right? We're going to think top of the head. We're going to circulate that chi to the top of the head. So I can feel air and energy and chi circulating through the whole body now. Not just from here to the feet, but now to the top of the head. Right? Top of the head. Keep it going. Keep on going. Yeah, looking good. And the breath, again, is real slow. It's not fast at all. We're going super slow because the slower the breath, the more control. The slower the chi, the better control. The healing part starts to happen when you do that. Okay? Good, good. Looking good. Good. Nice. Good. Now we're just going to really worry about posture 1 to make this happen. So it doesn't take all the postures that we do right now. We're just working on posture 1 right now because posture 1 is the best one for this. And plus, if I give you too many postures, if you have COVID fog, you won't remember. So, yeah, you have to think one posture, I can remember this. One posture. Got this down. Real easy. So let's do it together, Don. So here you go. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. Now, breathe out. Now remember now, I'm doing this. I'm letting the posture, I'm letting the breath go all the way down, circulate to the bottom of my feet. Then I start to breathe in, right? Up, in, top of the head, breathing in, turns over, comes down. Okay, good. So I'm thinking, right now, what I want everybody to do for homework this week, and we have a lot of stuff we're going to be talking about today, for homework this week, is I want you to work on the posture 1, because I'm talking about this right now, but trust me, you are going to hear about this all over the news. It's something that really is becoming pretty hot on the TV screen right now, and this, especially this week, we're going to start hearing about this. So I'm just trying to give you a heads up of what you can do to help that. Okay? Don't get so worried about this. This is nothing. This will pass. This doesn't stay in your system. Thank the Lord it's going to pass, right? But it does pass, and we should be fine with all this. Just like the COVID, in and out, done deal, right? All right, so let's move on to the next step of what we're talking about earlier. We're talking about the form. Now, we did the form last week, and if you remember this, let's reiterate everything. Let's talk about it. So we're in a fighting stance, right? So we're going to go through the 5 moves that we went over last week, and we're going to add a new move, okay? But before we do that move, we're going to kind of demonstrate it on something here. So 1 is a front kick. 1, and then 2 is a palm strike, just like that. Good. Now make sure that hand is under your elbow, just like that. Keep it there. And then 3 is a cover. Now you notice I didn't call that a block. Why didn't I call that a block? Because when I go to grab him like this, it's a continuous motion. He's going to step back for 4, and that's going to lock around my arm as I do it. So if I'm here, we're going to do this now. Here, circle, circle, and then here comes 5. Palm strike. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If last week you went over this with us, you got it down. Let's do it by yourself one time, down. So 1, front kick. 2, palm strike. 3, cover. 4, turn and lock. There it is. Bam. Just like that. Okay? And that has to be that, because you're actually circling the guy's arm and breaking it in a million pieces. And then palm strike. Okay? Now there's a new move we're going to show you today. Let me get a target here. Don't move. Don't move. Okay? So, right here. So, what he's going to do is something called a crescent kick. Come this way a little down so we can see the magical kicks there. So, when he throws his kick across, it's not a very high kick, because it's the same thing as if I was holding a knife like this, and if his leg went across, it's going to knock the knife out of my hand. Okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hold the target right about here, and his foot is going to go across for a crescent kick. That's exactly what it is. Now, I'm going to put my hand there for a second. I can take this. And I'm going to imagine if I had a knife. Hey, buddy, give me everything. Bam! That's the whole point. Now, here's the point I want you to see. Look, I'm going to get closer. Right there, that's a pressure point. That's a point. If he hits that pressure point with the crescent kick, it'll do that to your hand. So if it'll do anything to your hand like that, it'll open your hand up as you do it. Okay? Inside crescent kick. Now, there's more crescent kicks. but we're just going to talk about the inside. So now let's put that into form now. Okay, now we have, I don't know which way we should go. Let's start again from 1. So 1, 2, 3, watch this, 4, here, 5, now here comes 6. Grab and get that crescent kick across, here. Okay, again, one more time. Here's the palm strike. Grab, crescent kick. Okay, that's all it is. It's a crescent kick going across. Okay, just like that. As you go across. And that motion does this. Now, what are you using? Side of your foot. Okay? Not hard to do, but you got to practice. Okay? Let's go through the form one more time. I'm going to talk it through as Don does it. Come this way, Don. I want to see a good shot of you. Okay, ready? Fighting stance. 1, front kick. 2, palm strike. 3, cover. 4, turn and lock. There it is. 5, palm strike. Now watch, here comes the crescent kick. 6, crescent kick. Now the only reason why we're hitting the hand is that would be the guy that we're actually hitting. So you have to have something you're striking at. Okay? I want y'all to practice that as much as you can, because it's great for endurance. Okay? It's great for coordination. How many of y'all can do this? Tap, 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 sir. Can you do that? Can you do that? Right? If you got COVID fog, you can't do it. We can do it. See that? See that? We can do it, so we don't have COVID fog. All right? But you got to practice to make things better. And you know, one of my instructors used to say, practice makes perfect. He said, no, perfect practice makes perfect. So you got to practice something. If you get a student who's doing their middle punches like this, right? That's practice, but it's not perfect practice. You got to make sure when you're punching, where's your punch going as you punch, right? So perfect practice makes perfect, okay? So we went through a few things already today, y'all. We talked about the COVID fog, the breathing, the postures. We got into the form, right? And the next thing we want to talk about is demonstration from me and my buddy right here. We're going to talk about staff. Now, we're going to pick up our staff over here. I got one here and Don here has one right there. Now, we might have to step back a little bit to make this happen, okay? Now, a lot of times when you're doing staff work, right, it takes a lot of work. Come over this way, Don. Now, we're just probably going to stay in place. And I want you to see this. So, come this way a little bit more. Good, perfect. So, what I'm going to do, he's going to strike at me, okay? And I'm going to block up. So when he strikes, he does that. Now, you notice what I'm doing. I can do a lot of techniques from here to get around this. But what I'm doing is, this is just the practice set. So it's 1, and then he's going to strike towards my groin with the low end. 2, now watch this. So what I'm doing, I'm blocking. Again, I can do that, right? 2, and then he's going to go side. 3, and then 4. All the way around. So this way.
Got your hand.
Yeah, that's okay. You can strike me anytime you want, man. So basically, it's a 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, we're only demonstrating this. I don't want you to do this in the house right now. You're going to break some things in the house. But I do want you to see it, because this is the next level of where we're going to and where you're going to. Okay? A good way to practice this is just to go straight up and down. So 1, 2. So I'm just going to hold my staff up. He strikes, 1, and then groin, 2. And then we do it again. 1, 2. Right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Just like that, okay? Now, this is great for coordination. If Don didn't have coordination, I would have been struck already, right? It's that easy. But staff work is really great. I think it's great for the endurance. I think it's great for the coordination, especially. Coordination is so important. But it also is good, man, for flexibility. If you're stretching with these, we do some stretches. If I'm going here and down, here, yeah, down to the floor, man. Down, you know, he's going to do a middle split in a second here, but straight up. But you can go side to side too. Watch this. Side, go this way, side to side, side. So it's a great stretch. It's a great stretch. And then you can take the staff in the front, just circle the staff. This will work the wrist, right? Just like that. Change hand. You can do both sides, right? And then there's some advanced things I love doing, and of course, back up for a second. I don't want to hit you, man. But there's circle motion. So if I'm doing this sort of motion, this takes coordination and practice, right? As I'm doing this. But look what's going to happen. I can do this to get even a better stretch as I'm doing it. So a lot of these things, and they're centered, there's going this way. I can do this. I can go over the head and go this way, and go around the back. There's a lot of different postures to do with this, motions to do. But the basic ones are the foundation for staff work and martial arts, really. Come over this way now. We're going to talk in a second. Then we're going to disappear from the class. We do have some homework assignments for everybody. But before we do that, I want to get Mr. Dunn to break a board for me. Can you do that, man? Let's do this.
I'll try, yeah.
Let's do this. And maybe you can do, hey, do a palm strike. Do a palm strike. Now I'm going to hold the board. Real board. Look. Ow. Real board. So I'm basically going to hold the board like this. And what it's going to do is going to go straight in with a palm strike. Now before you do that, tap me one time in the stomach here, down with that strike. Ooh. Yeah, it's good. Now I want you to see how fast and efficient this is when you understand how to do a strike correctly. So if he did this wrong, maybe he would break his finger, right? If he did it wrong, maybe he would hurt his wrist. But if you do it right, it's always going to work the same way every time, right? So as soon as it comes up, now I'm going to joke about this. There's a lot of systems out there that do breaks, and they end up doing, and then they break. After 15 times, you don't need all that. When I hold this board up, Instructor Don is going to go right through with no problem. Okay, you ready for this, sir? Here we go. Straight through and, yeah, good. That easy. There's no complication. As long as you got the work done, you understand the focus behind the strike, you understand that when you break something, how your hand has to be. There's a lot of different palm strikes and styles. People do this sometimes, but if I hit somebody, I would break my fingers, man. I'm a piano player, I can't afford that. Right? Come over this way down so we can see you. We're gonna say so long today, y'all, but I think we had a great class today, and we need some practice. Give them a little word of confidence there, Don.
Yeah, and just think about COVID fog. If you get lost going to the bathroom, it's COVID fog.
It's COVID fog.
Something you can blame it on. My
Yeah.
age, I blame everything on COVID fog.
Well, you blame it on me too.
Yeah,
Yes, but you know what? Let's remember this and think about this. All these things that we're going through right now, we can help heal in our own bodies, because our bodies, people don't believe this in the Western world as much as the Eastern world. But there is something called chi inside our bodies, and that is the breath. That's the energy that we have when you stir up, right? And that particular energy is what can make all this out of your system and cleanse your system even quicker. Okay, so keep that in mind. We're going to talk about next week. Next week we're adding 3 new moves to finish part 1 of the poem. 3 new moves. And next week we'll demonstrate nunchuck. And we won't beat each other up, but we'll try nunchuck. And we'll talk about some more breathing and stuff. So look forward for next week. And I want to offer all the instructors out there. I'm going to talk about instructors for a second. In New Orleans, we have some great friends over there. Instructor Leon Molinario. He is one of our instructors that keep the open poem system going over there. And also Instructor Big Mo Barilla. He's another instructor over there. And also Instructor Mr. Jeff Henderson. So we got a lot of guys on that side. And my favorite instructor, of course, of all time is Instructor Ken Duncan. And he's phenomenal, man, phenomenal. And of course, we have instructors on this side. In the school where we are right now, Instructor Yaya, I call him, Yaya. Instructor Ray, Instructor Nick. We have a lot of instructors on this side that do a phenomenal job in this location. And we're very blessed to be here to do what we're doing at this location. Okay? So y'all, thank you so much. Oh, I can't forget Brother Gary.
Yeah, I was going to say.
He'd be really ticked
say
off because he watches our show probably right now. Instructor Gary. Now Gary's the same as me, man. We've been doing martial arts since back in the early '80s, 1980, I think. So it really is phenomenal to have all these friends and family that's doing martial arts. But let's keep it going, y'all. Keep it going so we can kind of stay ahead of everything that's going on right now. Okay. All right, y'all. We want to say thank you so much. Had a great time today. We'll see you next week.